What's up, guys? We're finally back with this breakdown. I know we got it out late. It's because I had a bunch of studying to do. But a quick recap of our last event. We were up $436. We're up $1,200 in the last 3 weeks since starting YouTube. Our Patreon is only $199. So that return on investment's crazy. I did some of the calculations. We're averaging $588 a month in net profit, which is, I don't even know what the math is on that, the return. It was something crazy. So yeah, $1.99, turning that into 588 or whatever I just said, dollars a month. It's $558 a month, that's what it was. So yeah, it's pretty good ROI, but enough of the recap and stuff, we'll get into the video. Oh, and before we get into the video, I just want to give a shout out to some of our new Patreon members. Bernaldo, Orion 2002, David, Nancy, and AJ. Shout out to all you guys for subscribing. Probably be one of the best choices of your life, to be honest, as long as we keep hitting. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for subscribing. So for the first fight, we have Bolaji Oki versus Chris Duncan. Oki is negative 190 at the time that I put all these odds in. And Duncan is plus 163. Oki is a very athletic fighter who has lots of power, who slows as the fight goes on. He is 2-0 in the UFC with one of these coming in the Contender Series, and his other win being against an absolute duck by split decision, which is not very impressive at all. Chris Duncan is a solid striker who wrestles and struggles with control. He is tough as hell, as we have seen him take some big shots and keep coming forward. I have Chris Duncan with extremely low confidence here, so this is a stay away fight for me. So I like Chris Duncan just because he's like tough as hell, and Oki's going to be coming out. Probably hit him with some big shots, but he'll start to slow down, and that's when Chris Duncan will start to take over with his wrestling, I'm sure. I feel like it's going to be one of those fights that's really close, super close, probably split decision maybe. I don't know. I'm going to stay away from this fight just because I don't like touching low-level fights like this. I just realized my screen wasn't even on the fight. So yeah, as you could see, still negative 190 plus 160, same thing. Okay, so as you can see, he went to split decision with Timmy Kuamba. Contender Series, he won first round. In the first round. So he's what, I guess 1-0 in the UFC if you really count it by split decision. Chris Duncan, I've liked for a minute. I'm not going to be biased here and pick him just because I like him. I just know he's hella tough. But it's like he lost to Manuel Torres by guillotine choke. Or was it rear naked choke? I thought it was guillotine. I guess it was rear naked. There's no shame in that. He beat, Ashmus, who's pretty, he's solid. He went to split with Oumar Morales. He's been in the UFC for a minute. Compared to, what's his name? Not a minute, but he's been in the UFC for a minute compared to freaking Bolaji Oki. I'm going to go Chris Duncan here. I just think he could utilize his wrestling and toughness and just outpace Oki in the later ends of the fight. So yeah, that's going to be my pick, but not high confidence at all. All right, so in this one, we got Jacqueline Cavalcanti versus Nora. What the heck? I put Noah in my breakdown. Noah Cornolle versus Nora Cornolle. So Cavalcanti is a very solid and technical striker who likes to use her reach to keep the distance. She's coming off that win over Josiane Nunes, where the reach was ridiculous. It was a close fight, but her landing the better strikes and the more volume is what gave her that win. Nora is a solid striker who is a lot better than Cavalcanti's previous opponents. I believe Cavalcanti's volume will win her this fight, but my bet here at the moment will be Cavalcanti to land more significant strikes in this matchup or the over 2.5. So I definitely have to look in to the strikes. Like I said, I've been super busy with my studying for real estate and all that. So I'm going to really lock in these next few days and just studying the card, and everything will be on my Patreon for $199, super cheap. So you guys will get all the inside scoop and all the early lines. Our safety parlay we actually just put in last night. We also have, well, he was a dog, probably gives it away. It's a pick'em fight now, so we put our bet in there. But yeah, as you can see, 8-1 for Nora, 7-1 for Jacqueline. Jacqueline's taking this fight on short notice because Jermaine Durandamy pulled out. Nora's the hometown fighter here, and she's a dog. She's beat Melissa Mullins, Jocelyn Edwards. Jocelyn Edwards, like, that's a solid win. If you could beat her as a female, I mean, that's not bad, you know what I mean? Even though she's not the best at all. Yeah, so she's 2-0 in the UFC, right? And then we got Jacqueline Cavalcanti. She's also 2-0 in the UFC. So Zara Farron, she's not good at all. She's 6-5. You can see by her record. I want to say she's like 40 years old too. She beat her by decision. She beat Josiane Nunes by decision. If you don't know who Nunes is, she's just like a little tank, and she just loads up with looping shots, power shots. She threw a lot of volume that fight and landed the bigger shots. I just thought Cavalcanti landed the cleaner, more technical, like volume type shots, which won her the fight. I had it 2-1. My uncle, I know he had it 2-1 for Nunes, so I mean, it was a split, which rightfully so, because it was super close. We did cash our bet there, though. I want to say we had her by decision. I want to say we told you guys to play the more significant strikes and the over in prize picks for her strikes. So that cashed there. All right, so for the next fight here, we have Daniel Barez versus Victor Altamirano. This is an interesting fight, actually. Barez, -128. Dang, it looks like the odds got wider, so I'll just read from Tapology. Barez, -145, and Victor Altamirano, +115. So for this one, both of these guys are not very good at all. I'll just start with that and tell you guys right now to not touch this fight heavy, if at all. And if you do, I would bet the dog, just to let you know. Betting low-level fights is what gets people into trouble. Both of these guys will be looking for takedowns in their matchups. Barez is 0-2 in the UFC. He will definitely be looking for takedowns, and on the feet, will try to use his boxing. Victor will also be shooting plenty of takedowns, as we've seen in his last fight against Felipe dos Santos. Or I want to say he landed 9 takedowns. Although both fighters have not beat anyone good, Victor has faced the better competition. I personally think Victor is the better fighter here, so he will be my pick. So like I said, with the better competition, let's just go into it. We'll look at Daniel Barez first. I'm a 16-6 fighter. He finishes most of his fights, but he hasn't been in the UFC long, so you can't really look at that. Like on the regional scene, look who he's fighting. 10-9, 7-9, 6-9, 14-12. That's how he got into the UFC, right? This guy now has a losing record. So he's not fighting good competition at all, right? This is big when you look into stuff like this. So see, all these guys he's beating are just losing record guys. He lost to Carlos Hernandez by split. I mean, that's not terrible, right? But look at his wins. So 6-3 guy, what is he now? 8. You see what I mean? All these guys are terrible that he's fighting. And then he fights Jafel Filo or whatever. He's not bad. He's actually pretty good. He's the one who almost made Muhammad Makayev tap. He almost freaking broke his leg. Too, that shit was, oh my god. Thought his knee was about to snap. But yeah, Javal Filo, he's solid. So then we look at Victor Altamirano. He's 12-4. You just look at the people he's beat or faced, right? He's 2-3 in the UFC. But I mean, he went to split with Felipe dos Santos. He went to Tim Elliott and didn't get subbed or anything by Tim Elliott. That's impressive. Vinicius Salvador. I mean, you look at it, he's not the best at all. He's 0-3 in the UFC. So, I mean, he's beating, like, ducks, I guess you could say, in the UFC. But at least they're a lot better. Like, Daniel Lacerda, terrible, one of the worst UFC fighters ever. He also went to split versus Carlos Hernandez and lost. Split with Carlos Candelario. Even if you look on the like regional scene who he's beating, like Nate Smith, he's not the best, but at least he has a winning record, you know what I mean? By more than one win. He's just fought the better competition. Felipe dos Santos, Tim Elliott, They both fought Carlos Hernandez. Yeah, I just think he's fought the better competition. I think he'll be the better fighter here. So I personally probably wouldn't touch this fight. But if I had to, I would take Victor Altamirano just because he's a dog. He's faced the better competition. I personally think he's going to win with low confidence. Yeah, so if you guys want to play, I would go Victor here. So on this one, we have the OnlyFans superstar in Ailin Pérez taking on Darya Zheleznyakova. I said that one pretty good. I didn't think I was going to get that. So Pérez is 10-2. Darya is 9-1. This is a striker versus wrestler matchup. Pérez is a relentless wrestler who will shoot relentlessly for 3 straight rounds. The control of her takedowns isn't the best, but you know she'll keep shooting. She is 3-0 in her last 3 fights, beating very low-level competition, but doing it pretty decisively. Darya is a striker who likes to come forward, but she has terrible takedown defense. She's coming off a win versus Montserrat Rendon, who is horrible, and Darya really struggled defending those takedowns. Ailin Pérez is way better than Darya, and should be able to wrestle fuck her for 3 rounds to pick up this win. I really like Pérez here, but it will be with medium confidence due to the fact that I don't trust low-level women with high confidence, and will not be loading up on Ailin here, especially at those odds. The over 2.5 should be pretty safe here. I do like Ailin a lot. If I had to play anything, we could probably look on Prize Picks or something. Her takedowns, if it's at like 2.5, I feel like that's a steal. It'll probably be at 3.5. She gets like, so like her control time isn't very good, so she'll get a lot of takedowns. Darya, she got taken down 3 times last fight by Montserrat Rendon, which Ailin Pérez is going to be able to get her down if Montserrat Rendon is. But yeah, we could look at the level of competition like she's faced or whatever. And for this, actually, I don't even like using Tapology. I'm going to go to the UFC page. I should have been doing this the whole time. I hate using Tapology to compare stuff. But anyways, you look at Ailin Pérez, right? 10 takedowns in a decision win. So first off, she fought Stephanie Egger. I want to say that was on short notice and her debut. No shame in losing that. 10 takedowns versus Ashley Evans Smith. You look at her, she's terrible. Look at that record. Go back. She beat Lucy Cutelaba. 2 takedowns, unanimous decision, whatever. But you look at her, another one, low level. What is that one? 1-7 in her last 8. It's ridiculous. And then she beat Jocelyn Edwards, who's not like a terrible win. She's not very good, but Ailin Pérez, 6 takedowns, got a unanimous decision win. Again, 6 takedowns because she doesn't control very well. She averages 5 takedowns a fight, which is freaking crazy. But you notice all by decision. She's not a finisher. She won't finish Darya. You look here, see, Jocelyn Edwards isn't terrible. You look at her wins. She beats the low-level girls. So she's just above the low level, but she's not at that medium level, if that makes sense. Shred in between. Darya, though, you see she got taken down 3 times in her last fight versus Rendon, but she won. She did win. She picked up the win. You kind of want to look at it. Per round, you kind of see what's going on. Rendon got the first 2 takedowns, right? In the first round, split him in the second, and then Darya defended both of them in the third and got the win. But yeah, it's one of those things, Rendon did not control her very much. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, which is half the round, right? But on 2 takedowns. Pérez is going to win this fight. I probably broke down that fight. She's going to win. She's going to be able to wrestle her because Darya is suspect to getting taken down. I want to say even on the regional scene, she got taken down. Yeah, Ailin Pérez is going to just shoot for 3 straight rounds. She should pick up a decision win. We'll see what the decision prop is. We might play that. But the over 2.5 is going to be super safe, and we're going to have to get on that super early because I don't know what those odds will be. They'll probably be juiced, I'm sure. So we have a fight here between Taylor Lapilus and Vince Morales, which was put together pretty short notice. I want to say it was added super late in the week. This seems to be a short notice fight for both guys here, as I just barely heard about this fight. Lapilus is a good kickboxer who can struggle to defend takedowns against really good wrestlers. His get-up game is usually good enough against average grapplers. Morales is a former UFC fighter who won 5 straight fights out of the UFC to get that UFC contract back. He has fought some really good guys like Song Yadong, Miles Jones, Jonathan Martinez, and Chris Gutierrez. Although those were all losses, those were all good fighters. Morales is a grappler who will look to get this fight to the ground. On the feet, he has decent boxing, but it won't be better than Lapilus. I like Lapilus here to be able to keep the fight. To be able to fight off the takedowns and show a good enough get-up game if taken down to pick up a decision win here. So yeah, like I said, Vince Morales used to be in the UFC. He's now back. Picked up his 5 straight wins outside of the UFC, right? Were the guys very good? Not really. They weren't really good at all. So now he's going to be fighting Taylor Lapilus. But yeah, you look at his previous stint in the UFC, like Miles Jones, Jonathan Martinez, Chris Gutierrez, Song Yadong, and he went to decision with really good fighters. Chris Gutierrez, he lost that because it was leg kicks. Taylor Lapilus has good leg kicks, but they're not like Chris Gutierrez leg kicks. So I want to say Taylor Lapilus is the better fighter here, and I don't see him finishing. So I'm pretty confident this one's going to decision, and I will most likely be playing Taylor Lapilus by decision as a prop here. All right, so for the next fight, we got Ludoveit Klein versus Roosevelt Roberts. Roberts is going to be taking this fight on short notice as, who was his last opponent? I forget his last opponent who pulled out. I want to say it was a few weeks ago when he pulled out. It's pretty much just the UFC building up Klein. I'm going to read what I have here. So Ludoveit, as you can see, Klein -700, Roberts +500, and the odds are correct there. That's probably generous. This is a gimme fight here. Klein is a very, very good striker who is very technical, who can mix in his own takedowns if that's the easiest path to victory. He has faced and beaten the way better competition in this matchup, taking out guys like Thiago Moises and Ignacio Bahamondes. Roberts is not very good at all. He is on a second stint in the UFC, coming off of a first-round submission loss versus Rebecca. Klein is going to smash in this matchup and probably find a finish. High confidence pick here. He should look like a -2,000. And that's true. He should look like a -2,000. He almost had Thiago Moises out finished. And I feel like he's picked up so many decision wins if you just look here. So if you look here, so he's picked up a lot of decisions, right? Decision. But it's like against the bad people. I put Roosevelt Roberts in the same category as people like Shane Young, right? Okay, finished. Mason Jones is tough. Ignacio Bahamondes, that's high level. AJ Cunningham, not very good. Finished him, right? And ever since moving up to 155, Klein's been he's just been a fucking dog and a killer. His last loss was to Nate Landwehr. That's where he gassed out. But I want to say this was at this was 145. These were all 145s, and once he moved up, he's been just an absolute killer. Roberts, he's on his second stint. He's not very good. He hasn't beaten anyone, as we'll look right now. Look at this. He's lost to Rebecca, lost to Bahamondes, lost to Jim Miller. This was no contest here. But this is all his like old fights that I went through. Rebecca was his first fight back and lost by sub in the first round. Rebecca's not that good. I mean, he's a beast in the first round before he gasses. His wrestling is. His striking's terrible. He lost to Vince Pichel. Pichel's not very good. So, you see what I mean? It's just a gimme fight for Ludoveit Klein. So, this is a hometown fight for one of their prospects. Where is it? For one of France's prospects, Oumar Sy. He was super hyped up coming into the UFC. He's -450. Woon Jung +350. So Oumar Sy will be the hometown guy here who came into the UFC with a lot of hype, where the UFC wants him to win so they can start pushing him up the ladder. He is an athletic beast with a lot of exciting finishes. He can submit you with those long-ass arms by being very patient and just keeping that control until his opponent makes that mistake. The control he has is so impressive because he loves using that wrist control, which is very easy for him to find because his arms are so long and he is so physically strong. His cardio could be an issue against better competition where guys will be able to push back, but I doubt that will be the case in this matchup. Woon Jung is a well-rounded fighter, mainly a kickboxing style fighter who's on a 3-fight losing streak. His last fight to Carlos Ulberg, he lost by submission, which is embarrassing because Ulberg's a kickboxer. We all know He does not use his ground game at all, except against Dawoon Jung. Jung is not very good at all, and he's known to gas. Sai is going to win this fight very dominantly, with my prediction being an early submission. So if you guys watch the tape, I would suggest go watching Oumar Sai's just his last fight. If you watch like the control he has and like the power he has in his takedowns, just the way he could lock his hands because they're so long in the double leg against the fence, he gets him down. He's just like so smooth with his transitions every time. Who was it that he fought? It was Tokos, that's right. Every time he tried to get up, he would just like reach around him, grab that wrist, and he's so strong, he's just able to yank it out of the ground, his hand off the ground. Just pure dominance. He's an animal, and this is pretty much a setup fight. So as you can see, Dawoon Jung, right? Just to give you a little context, he beat Kennedy and Chekwu. He's not good. He beat William Knight. He's not good. He beat Mike Rodriguez. He's not good. Kadis Ibragimov. He's not good at all. We could just look at these records. This is Kadis. He beat this guy. Mike Rodriguez. Okay. Not very good at all. Okay. So he lost this. He went to a draw with Sam Alvey. It's embarrassing. Sam Alvey's not good. He beat William Knight. William Knight's not that good. Like, at all. Look at the guys he's beating. This is low-level guys he beats. Kenny and Chekwu lost to freaking OSP. He lost to Dustin Jacoby, who's not very good. You see what I mean? Like, he's not very good at all. And then he lost to Devin Clark. Devin Clark's not very good. He's like a below average 500 fighter. Carlos Olberg's good. Olberg is winning this fight, obviously pretty dominantly, right? But he got his takedown in third round, got that submission. Dawoon Jung was just fucking gassed. That's pretty embarrassing. Oumar Sai is going to take this dude down and make it look easy. It's a setup fight. The UFC knows what they're doing. Hometown, France. Hometown is France with the fight in Paris. That's what they want to do. They want to push this kid, and he's going to be an absolute animal. Give me Oumar Sai by submission. All right, so our next fight here, Ion Cutelaba versus Ivan Erslan. Cutelaba is -125 here. Erslan plus 105. This is going to be a fight I will most likely fade here. Ion is a grappler with lots of power. His IQ isn't the best, and neither is his chin. He is a kill or be killed type of fighter, and he's 2-7 in his last 9 fights, with 5 of those 7 being by way of finish. Ivan is a powerful striker who seems a little lost in the grappling, even though that fight where we seen the grappling was years ago. I don't think I'll have a pick here. Instead, I'm going to look at the under because this fight is not going the distance. Yeah, this fight's not going the distance. I said I don't have a pick here, but I do. If I have to pick, it would just be because I'm fading Ion Cutelaba. He's 2-7 in his last 9. Give me Ivan Erslan here. I don't think I'll touch this. Maybe it's low level, so we'll see. But if you had to do anything, I would do the under, depending on the odds. Stay up with our Patreon because we'll have all our picks there. We'll have like what you should play depending on value and odds and all that stuff. Like if this under is like juiced at like -400, we are never touching the under again after the Isaac Dulgarian fight. I feel like unders are just, it's one of those things. It's a lot easier to go over and hit an over than it is to hit an under. Same thing with NFL. Sorry, I'm going off topic, but if you do NFL picks, it's a lot easier. This is what we've been doing to cash an under, like a quarterback versus like a top defense. He'll probably go under, right? Than it is for him to hit it over against like a good defense, I guess, or a bad defense, just because of blowouts and all that stuff. So it's the same thing. We've been cashing our unders on NFL every week. Just play the under on the quarterback versus the Jets. Yeah, we'll see what I do. I don't even know, to be honest. Just pay attention to the Patreon. We'll see what we do here. All right, so our next fight, Ziam versus Matt Frevola. This fight's could be a banger, might be a little boring. We'll see. So Frevola is the favorite now at -125. Ziam's plus 105. That's probably how it should be. So this is a fight, very simple to break down here. Ziam is a very patient striker who's very good at utilizing range, which will be important here with this 4-inch reach advantage. He is very low volume and will utilize the clinch a good amount. He is 5-2 in the UFC, but has not beaten any real competition. He has real issues stuffing takedowns, as we have seen in his last fight, being taken down 7 times, even though he still picked up that close split decision win. Frevola is a very aggressive wrestler who will be very aggressive with his powerful striking, and this is a trend you might see like even later on. Aggressive, powerful wrestlers, right, versus patient counter strikers. The thing I don't like about Frevola here is that his strikes are very loopy, as Ziam is very technical, which could present problems, but Ziam has no knockout power, as he does not have a knockout in the UFC as of right now. Frevola has beaten the way better competition, as well as taking out Jalen Turner by decision, and was the man to finally crack Drew Dober's legendary chin, knocking him out in the first round. He has also been in the octagon with Arman Tsarukyan and Benoit Saint-Denis, although he did lose those 2 fights. I believe Frevola should expose Ziam's poor takedown defense here to pick up a win. So this is like I get Ziam's the hometown guy here, but this is like I don't know the word, like a match, pretty much match made in heaven for guys like Frevola. It's a guy with no power. He's patient, right? Not aggressive. Frevola is going to be able to steamroll him. He's going to be aggressive, in his face, just throwing his looping strikes, shooting takedowns, getting him down. It's -120 is a value. He might be in our big parlay, not the safety, but our $50 to $60 parlay we do every week to win about like 150 to 300. We've been hitting those too, by the way, so I would pay attention. Those will not be released. Those are only in the Patreon. Same with our safety parlay. Yeah, pretty much. If we want to look, we can go to the UFC stats page real quick. And I don't want you guys calling me a duck or some shit because I'm showing you guys like stats pages and all this stuff because I know that's what nerds do, but I'm not going to sit here and show you film and break down film with you guys. You know what I mean? It's a breakdown of a prediction video. We're not trying to do all this extra shit and make it like 10 hours. So we have to just go by this. But obviously you guys are watching me because I know my stuff a lot more, so I could explain to you what stuff is, and I hope you guys trust me. But Ziam got taken down 7 times by Claudio Puelles, who I don't think he has very good takedowns. Like, I mean, he's not very good in my opinion. So getting taken down 7 times by him is not very impressive. He did beat Jai Herbert. That's whatever win. Malarkey, Luigi. See, like, none of these guys are good. He got subbed by Terrence McKinney, which just tells you, like, I don't know, he lost to Don Madge. Don Madge isn't the best. That was hella long ago, so I'm not even going to count that one. But you look at Matt Frevola, right? Just look at the difference here. You could just tell right away. Knocks out Drew Dober. Drew Dober's top 15. Benoit Saint-Denis, he lost by that head kick right away. He did take him down twice, though, right? Although did allow him to get up. That was like one of those where it's kind of a fluky win, just kind of super early, whatever. But he fought Benoit Saint-Denis. He took him down. He fought Drew Dober. He knocked him out and like outstruck him. Who else did he fight here? That's good. I mean, he did lose to Terrence McKinney. That was kind of crazy. That's when Terrence McKinney had all that hype on him. Arman Tsarukyan. He went to decision with Arman Tsarukyan. That's a good win. All these guys top 15, right? Not Terrence McKinney, but Jalen Turner. Like, he's top 15, I want to say. He is top 15. He's not the best, obviously, but that's a good win. That's a top 15 win. That's what I'm saying. He's beat all these like top 15 guys. Ziam, where's his top 15 win? Claudio Puelles might be top 15. I don't think he deserves it, to be honest. He's kind of a duck. But it's like, that was a split decision at that and was taken down 7 times. He hasn't beat nobody. I think this is straight value for Matt Frevola. We got in early. We got our line at a good line. I hope you guys did too. I know 2 of our members already have their safety parlay in and their Matt Frevola bet. The more I look at it, man, the more I just want to put him in my big parlay. I think that's what I'm going to do. If he's in that big parlay, that $50 that we're going to put $60, that's going to be $300, $400, $500 just because he's a pick'em. That's going to boost the odds like like crazy. So this next fight, Morgan Charriere versus Gabriel Miranda. This is one of those fights. Negative 550 for Morgan, plus 400 for Miranda. Morgan is a very good fighter who is well-rounded with amazing cardio. He has a 19-10 record, but look at his losses. Chepe split decision, Paul Hughes majority decision, Jordan Vucenic split decision, as well as 2 other majority decision losses. And if you don't know those 3 guys, Chepe is a fucking animal in the UFC. Super good, just mauled Damon Jackson. Paul Hughes just got signed with Bellator. He won his fight, I want to say it was a first round, second round finish. He's fighting AJ McKee coming up. Paul Hughes is a legit fucking prospect. He chose Bellator over the UFC, which is crazy. He's the Irish prospect, if you don't know. Probably wants to be the next Connor. Jordan Vucenic, he just fought in the UFC. He's another good prospect. Like, these are good guys. Vucenic is going to be a beast in the UFC. He might be top 15. He has the skill set. He almost fucking beat Guram on, like, what was that? Like a week notice? It was a few days notice, whatever it was. So he's a good guy. Morgan's losing to good guys. Gabriel Miranda is an old school type jiu-jitsu fighter where he is screwed if he can't get that submission. His takedown defense will be good enough here, and his striking is light years ahead of Miranda. Charriere is the pick here with medium confidence. Miranda, he only has that 1 loss. Benoit Saint-Denis, that's not a bad loss. Comes in and fucking mauls Shane Young. Shane Young's not very good. I think the odds probably are correct. Would Morgan beat fucking Benoit Saint-Denis? I think Benoit Saint-Denis does the same shit to fucking Morgan, right? He's gonna fucking destroy him. Although Morgan has fought the tougher competition, I will pick him. He's gonna be medium confidence here. I think there's a chance at Miranda's submission. It might be live, but I don't know, man. I just can't put Morgan. There's something about this fight. I just cannot put him in my safety parlay. Probably won't put him in anything. The odds are too high. Don't trust him. Although it is a hometown fight, I feel like they're giving him a favorable matchup. He should probably just maul this guy. I don't know. I'm just personally staying away. I don't know what it is. So now I have here what's probably my favorite fight on the card, as these are 2 prospects I really like a lot, and Kevin Jousett and Bryan Battle. Battle is sitting at negative 150. Jousett is plus 125. Jousett is the hometown guy here. He trains with freaking Izzy and all them dudes. Bryan Battles, obviously, he won the Ultimate Fighter. This is a very exciting prospect versus prospect fight. Jousett is Adesanya's guy. He has incredible judo, along with some very solid kickboxing and ridiculous volume and cardio. I believe he can be hit a little too much, but he is a very good prospect. He has 2 wins in the UFC, looking very, very dominant against lackluster competition. And Battle will be a big step up in competition. Bryan Battle is 5-1 in the UFC, where his only loss was against Renat, which we made lots of money off of because Renat was like negative 140, I think, which was fucking ridiculous. I want to say we put like 400 or 500 on him. Pretty much a double up there. He mauled Bryan Battle. Battle also has not been any good competition, but has looked very dominant in those matchups. I'm also very undecided in this matchup, as I think both fighters have very good striking with a solid offensive ground game. And by the way, this is a step up for both fighters. I know I said it for Jousett. This is a step up for both fighters because both these are really solid prospects that I think are going to be in the top 15 one day, both of them. Jousett will have the better judo in this matchup, and striking should very slightly lean Bryan Battle. Might be Jousett, though, actually. I don't know. This is a fight I'm undecided on. I don't even know. I want to say I put Bryan Battle with low confidence. It might switch throughout the week. Bryan Battle's really good, though. He's making improvements every single time he's out there. Like I said, his only loss is to Renat. But he knocked out Gabe Green, AJ Fletcher. He was beating the shit out of Ange Lusa. Kevin Jousett, dude, if this thing loads, let me see. He beat Kiefer Crosby. He got him down. He stood with him for a minute, threw out ridiculous volume, got him down using his judo, and obviously subbed him or naked choke. And then Kanan's song, I want to say he stood up with him for all 3 rounds and just put on a ridiculous fucking pace. Okay, yeah, as you can see here, he landed 29 fucking punches in 1 round. That's a lot of volume. 134 against Song Kanan, 134 to 62. If you watch that fight, he made a lot of improvements. Jousett did. So both these fighters are really good. People are just picking Bryan Battle out of his name. oh, Prime Battle, he's going to win because we're so used to picking him, right? I always pick him right. Look at who he's fighting, though. It's like he's fighting Gabe Green. He's fighting AJ Fletcher. He's fighting Angelus. Well, this didn't count as a win, but you know what I mean. Takashi Sato, he's not fighting good guys at all. Either is, what's his name? Kevin Jousett, but he's fighting the more dangerous guys, I would say. Dude, this is like, I don't know. I might honestly take Kevin Jousett as a freaking dog play. He's not a joke. He's legit. His kickboxing's legit. His judo's fucking nice. I might switch my pick and go Kevin Jousett here. Just opposite of the public. The whole public's on Bryan Battle. I haven't seen one person pick Jousett. So I'm going to be the one to do it. Give me Kevin Jousett at plus 125 with dog value. I don't know if I'm going to play this fight. If I do play this fight, I'll probably... I don't know if I can even play the over here. We'll see what I do. Like I said, pay attention to the Patreon. We'll have it up. Notifications will send straight to your phone. So just be on the lookout for that stuff. So this is another fight where I said there's a trend going. These powerful, like aggressive, like wrestler, grappler-based guys versus these patient dudes who have no volume whatsoever, like to counter-strike, sit back. So Joanderson Brito versus William Gomis. I didn't even say who their names were. Brito negative 260 plus 210 for Gomis. So this is a really good fight to see who is for real. Gomis is the hometown guy here on an 11-fight win streak. He's very well-rounded, but would prefer to keep the fight on the feet unless there's an obvious glaring hole. He has very high fight IQ, but is very low volume as he loves to look to counter-strike, which results in very boring fights. Brito is a very powerful and very dangerous grappler who has beaten the way better competition compared to Gomis. Brito has beaten the likes of Diego Lopez, number 3 in the world, who's very good, as well as Jonathan Pierce, Jack Shore. Jack Shore is good too, but Jack Shore needs to go down. The Pierce fight was a little fluky as he was getting absolute mauled, and he had a lot of trouble with that forward pressure and relentless pace from Pierce. But like I said, luckily in this matchup, Gomis is not like that. Brito should be able to back up Gomis against the fence, really let his hands go to set up those takedowns. Like, this is a great matchup for Brito here, and I like him a lot here to get this fight done, probably by submission. It's one of those fights he's able to be aggressive and move forward without much caution, just because Gomis has no power. It's one of those things. I don't know why my hand just tweaked like that. I hope you guys didn't see that. Okay, so yeah, as you could see, he went to decision with Jarno Aarons, right? Aaron's 1-3 in the UFC, so he's not very good. He went to split decision with Francis Marshall, who's not very good. I mean, he's 3-2, so put a little bit of respect, but he's not that good. He's really not. And then Giannis Gamori, he finished him in the 3rd round, but Giannis Gamori is not very good. Peyton Talbot's a fucking animal, right? But he put him out in like the first 19 seconds. Where we actually got in on Peyton Talbot at negative 400. We told you guys we had Peyton Talbot negative 400. And that we once prick fucking Angelo tried to call me out for lying and all this shit, saying I was just trying to get clout. Fuck you, Angelo. We got it at negative 400, exposed your dumb ass, showed all of our bet slips. No disrespect to Angelo. Seems like a great guy. He's just a fucking prick sometimes. He does his thing, though. He has good picks and all that. Sometimes he's too safe. He doesn't know how to bet the correct way, but he does have a good safety parlay. It hits at a 70-something% clip. I'm not going to sit here and compare our numbers. I could do that, but I'm not going to. But yeah, I'm going Joanderson Brito here all day. I just think the level of competition is night and day. Brito beat the number 3 guy in the world, and you're telling me he's not going to fucking beat William Gomis? Yeah, I mean, he's a beast. He had that big upset win over Andre Fili. Remember, I was watching him in the gym, and he absolutely fucking slept him. He beat the shit out of Jack Shore. Didn't even look competitive. Yeah, Jonathan Pierce, he got him by sub. But like I said, Pierce was winning that whole fight. Yeah, give me Joanderson Brito here with high confidence. So for our co-main event of the evening, we got Nasruddin Imavov versus Brendan Allen. This is a good fight between two good prospects. Allen's sitting at plus 175. Imavov, negative 210, hometown guy, right? So Imavov is a very solid striker who will throw a good amount of volume. He can mix in takedowns, but he won't be using those here. He is 5-1 in his last 6 fights, with that only loss being to Sean Strickland, who would be the champion right now. Brendan Allen is an animal who has elite jiu-jitsu and very solid striking. He has fought very good people in the UFC like Sean Strickland, Chris Curtis, Kevin Holland, Jacob Malkoun. There are more names on there, but his resume is ridiculous. His only losses in the UFC are to Sean Strickland, who I believe is a champion, and Chris Curtis, where he got caught. I do want to say, I believe he lost to Jacob Malkoun. Jacob Malkoun's a fucking monster, though. He's going to be top 15, probably top 10. Don't sleep on him. Brendan Allen then redeemed that loss to Chris Curtis, though, where he went 5 rounds and won that decision. His chin is a bit of a question, as both of his losses came by way of knockout. Allen struggles against guys that can strike, along with having good takedown defense, just like Strickland and frickin' Curtis, right? I believe Imavov is the better striker here, but his takedown defense is a question. He hasn't fought anyone who really wrestles besides Phil Hawes back when he did wrestle, and he was able to take down Imavov whenever he wanted. I have no clue who I'm... Oh my god, I just stumbled the fuck out of that. I have no clue who I'm going with in this fight yet, but early lean will be Brendan Allen, just because of the takedowns. Brendan Allen's takedowns are not the same as fucking Phil Hawes, and Imavov, I'm sure, got a lot better with his takedown defense. So this is a tough fight, probably a stay away from me. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I had Imavov in his last fight versus freaking Cannonier. I don't know who I'm going to go with here. I'll probably side with Brendan Allen, the dog. I feel like there's going to be a lot of dogs barking this UFC Paris card. Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. Just like I said, stay... I mean, fuck my Patreon, man. I'm probably not even going to post it. I'll just tell you guys right now, I'm not going to touch this fight at all, most likely. But yes, pay attention, I guess, to the Patreon. Just in case I do. I doubt I will, because I don't like forcing plays. And for the main event, we have Renato Money Moicano versus Benoit Saint-Denis, the God of War. This is a super good fight. I'm super excited for. Benoit Saint-Denis is a fucking killer. You got Money Moicano, who got fucking slept last fight and still won. He's tough as hell, you know what I mean? Funny guy. Has good bets too. I would go watch his channel because he actually has really good bets. He hits at a pretty high clip, I'm pretty sure. My computer's about to die. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. My computer's about to die, so we're going to hurry up with this last little bit real quick. This is a grappler versus... Oh, before I say anything. Moicano plus 220. Benoit Saint-Denis negative 270. This is a grappler versus grappler matchup. Moicano is a 10-year UFC vet who was 5-1 in his last 6 fights. Those 5 fights were all stylistically favorable matchups, as none of those guys had good takedown defense, and most did not have good cardio whatsoever. Moicano did what he had to do, and that is always good to see. The one loss was against RDA, who beat the piss out of him. RDA was able to do whatever he wanted in the striking and on the ground. He got the takedowns when he wanted to get them, and he was very close to finishing Moicano multiple times. I was honestly surprised the fight didn't get stopped. It was that bad. He's coming off that UFC 300 win over Jalen Turner where he got knocked out in the first round. But then turned it around, obviously. You look and see that is a win for Moicano. That is because Turner tried walking off instead of securing the finish, which was crazy. Turner then gassed. Moicano got the takedowns and eventually found the sub. Saint-Denis is the hometown guy here, who's also 5-1 in his last 6, facing guys with poor takedown defense, as well as some guys with cardio issues. He's coming off a brutal KO loss to Dustin Poirier where he dominated in that first fight with a relentless pace and pressure, getting 3 takedowns. Due to staff, though, he death gassed and was brutally knocked out just over the 2.5 minute mark in the second round, which we cashed the over by 1 second. Saint-Denis will be the better striker in this matchup due to his pressure and volume, which will also open up the takedowns against the fence, which he should be able to get. I like Saint-Denis here for those reasons, but the only issue that I have is how Saint-Denis' cardio will look if the fight gets in the later rounds. And a lot of people are all over Saint-Denis here because, oh, he only gassed because of staff. Islam had staff and fucking subbed Poirier in the 5th round. Staff isn't an excuse. I get the antibiotics, whatever. He gassed against his debut against, what was it? It was Ezequiel dos Santos, is that who it was? That was short notice. Oh, he gassed because it was short notice. He gassed against Poirier because of staff. That may be the case. I think he's just a better fighter here. There's not going to be a lot of resistance. There might be. I think he's just a better fighter here than Moicano. It's his hometown. The UFC's, I feel like they're giving him this fight for a reason, but at the same time, Moicano wins in enemy territory. That pushes Moicano up the ladder too, so it's a win-win for the UFC, whoever wins this fight. Give me Benoit Saint-Denis, though. That Poirier fight never happens. Benoit Saint-Denis probably sitting at a -5 or 600 favorite against Moicano. Yeah, and honestly, Jalen Turner should have finished that fight too. So if you really look at it like realistic terms, Jalen Turner has nothing to do with this fight because it's totally different matchup. But yeah, I'm going to go Benoit Saint-Denis. He's going to be able to get the takedowns. He won't get submitted unless he gasses. Yeah, give me Saint-Denis here. All right, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys all for watching. Some more videos will come out later in the week. We'll have our prize picks video. We'll have our best bets. We'll have most confident picks. We'll have that stuff throughout the week. Patreon's $1.99. Like I said, we're up $4,700 something dollars. It says at the bottom of the screen. This is going to be a fun fight. I want to say it starts... Yeah, it starts at 9 in the morning, this fight. There's 14 fights. So I just want to let you guys know that so you don't miss the card. Bet early. Get in on the lines before they jump. If you have any questions, feel free. I'll answer all your questions in the comments. Yeah, my Instagram's up here. I post stuff on my Instagram. That's pretty well ran and organized. We got our Twitter where we'll post our picks and stay active on there so you can see what we're talking about. Our Patreon, obviously, $1.99, like I said. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit this like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.